Hey everybody, welcome back to High Five Resale Shop. My name is Derek, and I sell things on eBay for profit. This here is Mellow. He's hanging out with me today. Um, Sleepy little dog. Um, Hard to think that not even he's not even a year old yet, but he's he's getting pretty big. Little hot dog that he is. Um, but yeah, we had a bunch of sales this weekend. Nothing impressive. I wasn't necessarily impressed with it. Gonna maybe adjust my sale that I'm having right now. Maybe adjust it up a little bit, like 30% instead of doing 20%, just to get things going a little bit more. But I also am looking at my calendar of. I keep track of what sold, how much sold, how many quantity, how much sold, and then what price it sold at. And I keep track of how many things I've put up that are new listings, and then the dollar amount of that, and then the end and sold similars, which I'm working on right now for all the clothes to get those up to date. Um, so that's a process. The other day I worked on and I got through this women's skirts and started on the women's shorts. I didn't get through the whole thing, but that's the next one. And then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Maybe the sweaters, but also maybe the jackets. I'm not sure. A lot of those jackets are really they're like light jackets and fleeces and stuff, and a lot of them are really old. So maybe that's the next thing I need to do. But also the sweaters are probably pretty old. It's helped sell off a few things that were really old in the storage area, so it's helped in that respect. Um, but I've pulled a lot of stuff out too and trimmed down a bit. I'm down to 4,400 listings right now on eBay. I think I was up to about 46, so I've sold some stuff, plus I've taken some stuff out and just donated, got rid of it. But let's go through the things that sold. I'm going to put you down. Relax there, buddy. And let's go through the things that sold over the weekend and show you what you could sell on eBay for profit. Okay. So let's go all the way down. The first thing is a CD. If you don't know, I sell a lot of CDs. I bought a CD store out. He had trouble making it through COVID and closed the store, and then I kind of told him, if you ever want to get rid of them, if you're not going to open up again, give me a call. I'll buy all of your CDs. And eventually, a couple of years later after COVID, he called me and asked me to buy if I'd buy them. And of course, I didn't have the money at the time. I did it in payments. I paid him back in payments. So well, he was cool with that. So we did that because we were pretty good friends. So and I was able to pay him back, and I still have a ton of CDs left. So I'm looking for the next opportunity right now. I don't think this actually came out of that CD buy, but I am one of the top rated CD sellers on eBay because I sell so many. This Gorillaz self-titled pop rock hip hop CD sold for $4.99 plus shipping on top. This has Clint Eastwood on it, and what else does it have on here? That might be it. I think Clint Eastwood is the song that Gorillaz is just one guy, and he used the intro from a is it Auto Harp, I think it was. He used one of the intro things to make that song. if you are interested, there's a reel out there about him showing off the harpsichord he used, the auto harp he used, and show you the what is it? It's just like a basic pattern, beat pattern that was on it, and he used it for a song. So anyway, the next item, so that's all for $4.99 plus shipping on top. The next item is the St. John's Bay shirt. This sold for $5 plus shipping on top. Occasionally, when I get the feeling, I will do a search query on eBay for St. John, which is a very high-end brand, and it sells really well. See if I catch anybody slipping thinking that it's a St. John's Bay shirt, and it's actually a St. John's shirt. The St. John's ones actually are usually like a knit with like the quality of it gets it to be like a no wrinkle kind of piece of clothing. So that's how well made they are. So if you ever see St. John, pick it up at a decent price. They sell really well, and it's a high-end brand. The next item that sold was this CVET, Hell Hath No Fury CD. This sold for $3.50 plus shipping on top. I don't really know anything about it other than it says alt rock metal on there, so it looks like a metal group of ladies. So the next item that sold is this Thomas the Train wash station. This is vintage 2002, and this sold for $9 plus shipping on top. That train piece came from we bought our son a train set, which he really never played with. He never really got into that. But I've sold off all the pieces that I bought on Facebook Marketplace. I think we paid $100 for a table and all the stuff that come with it. And I mean, just one of the pieces last week I sold for $68. And it does take a while to sell, but I've sold 3 pieces of Thomas the Tank thing in the last 3 weeks, so 1 a week. But it's been sitting there for like 4 months now, so it doesn't sell really well, but eventually somebody will buy it. Bad Company, The Very Best of Bad Company CD. It's new, sealed, and it sold for $4 plus shipping on top. And it's got all the songs: Bad Company, Shooting Star, Rock and Roll Fantasy, Feel Like Making Love, all of it, all on there. Saw Bad Company in concert in 1995 with Ted Nugent and Sister Christian, Winger, Sister Christian, for less than $10 on a Marine Corps base. So that's pretty cool. The next item that sold is Survivor, The Very Best of, and these are 2 different people that bought these. This sold for $5 plus shipping on top, and this has Eye of the Tiger on it. I don't know any other song that's really big by Survivor. So the next item is this pink Ann Taylor knit. It's a petite medium, and it's just like a sleeveless tank blouse. Usually wear something over top of it. $8 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold is an end and sell similar from Friday, when I did it on Friday. It's a pair of White House Black Market shorts, Bermuda gray, size 4, and that sold, that sold for $12 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold was a book. It's this, it's a brand new copy. The spine hasn't been cracked on it. This Sarah Palin Going Rogue book, and inside it is signed by Sarah Palin. So that is impressive, but it only sells for about $7 plus shipping on top. So autographed item, but not really worth a whole lot. The next item is a new CD, and it is Charles Bradley, No Time for Dreaming, rock, R&B, soul from 2011. Looks like that. I don't know anything about it. Featuring the sounds of the Menahan Street Band. Interesting. The next item that sold was I bought a whole lot of video games at a garage sale. Probably was not a super money maker on it. I'll make about $20 on the whole thing. But this game was in it. PlayStation 3 Ben 10 Omniverse 2. This sold for $23 and 19 cents plus shipping on top. And remember, when you're doing video games, you can't send those media mail, so make sure you put them in as Ground Advantage. The next item that's sold is This Is the New Beat by Polygram Records. It looks like this, and it says dance, pop, and hip hop. Let me see if I see anything on here. No, I do not know any of that, but it looks like remixes and stuff, and that sold for $6 plus shipping on top. And the last thing that sold, I'm kind of scared that it's going to come back. I took really good pictures of it. They say they're a size 7B women's shoes, but here they are. These Justin boots, pink and brown, sold for $14.99 plus shipping on top. And I don't know. I sent so many offers out on these Justin boots, and got no takers on it, that now I'm kind of scared that somebody's not paying attention what the listing says or something like that. I don't know. So anyway, those sold. I was gonna say that I've been looking at I put all this information on a calendar, right? And I did like 6 boxes on each day of the calendar. I'm not gonna do a close-up of it or anything, but I did 6 boxes on each day of the calendar. The top box being quantity sold and what the dollar amount for that quantity was. The next one underneath it was new listings that I put up, quantity and value on it, dollar amount. And then the bottom one was end and sell similar, that I was doing quantity and dollar amount. And so before, I would just randomly say that I'm not putting enough stuff up, I'm not being consistent. But now I can actually see where I'm not being consistent. So the entire month of April, and we have a couple of days left, but up to this point, I have not listed anything on new or NSL similar on Wednesday. We have a homeschool group on Wednesday and church on Wednesday. And my wife actually has another commitment in the middle of those two things on Wednesday, which I need to drive her to and pick her up from. So there's like literally just minutes for us to eat dinner before we have to head off to church after picking the kids up from school, because we have to pick kids up at two places and stuff. So by the time we get home, we eat and we head back out the door to go to church. So it's really really a busy day. Wednesday is. So it's kind of understandable that I'm not listing on Wednesday. When we get home on Wednesday night from church, it's 10 o'clock or 9:30 or 10, close to 10. Kids want to eat one more time before they go to bed. We try and limit any sugar, but let them eat. And then put them to bed and everything. And usually we're so tired after that, we just go to bed too. So that makes sense that there's nothing being listed on Wednesday. Then there's nothing being listed on Saturday, which kind of makes sense because there's always something that needs to be done on a Saturday, right? Like there's a birthday party, or we're meeting grandma and grandpa, or we're having a garage sale, or somebody's graduation, or all that stuff. So so that makes sense that there's no listing going on Saturday. Friday is the heavy day. That's the day that my wife doesn't work, so I end up listing. And it like one Friday's has 12 listings, and the next Friday has 30 end and sell similar listings. The next Friday has between the two, 64 listings between new listings and end and sell similar. And then the next one has 55. The next week has 55 listings, 9 new and 46 end and sell similar. So Friday's good. It looks like Tuesday's good as well. I get in there and list. Not a lot, but 9 to 20 listings on Tuesdays. Mondays I'm doing, making a video and picking up kids and taking mail to the post office. More mail than any other day. So it kind of makes sense that I don't get a whole lot done, but I try to get in here to the office at night and put things up. So, I've been looking at what I've been selling and be like, I kind of underwhelmed at what it's been selling. But you know what? I look at this calendar and you get out, you reap what you sow, right? And I'm not sowing enough to be reaping anything extravagantly. So I think I need to get in here and I gotta bust out some listings and everything. I need to try and pace myself through the day so that when I get to the evening, I can actually get in here after the kids go to bed and list some stuff. But I also don't want to go back to the way I was doing it before, which was like staying up till 3 a.m. and listing stuff. I mean, a lot of that was wasted time. I was doom scrolling sometimes at the end of the night, and I just wouldn't make it to bed. So gotta end that, not do that. Gotta just do the thing that needs to be done in here, which is listing and listing new things. New things are what sells. The end and selling similar helps, but sometimes it's already run its course and nobody's interested in it. So it's easier just to get rid of it. But and there is something to be said, like, I don't know if anybody watches the Bearded Thrift Machine, but he decided to just, he was moving, so he had to change the way his whole operation worked because they were moving into a new house and it was miles away from where everything was before. And they had a booth and they had storage units and everything. And they're like, well, we can't come to the storage locker anymore. So they have to clean everything out. And he was just like, fire sale, sold it all at 50% off, I think. And then what didn't sell, they picked and choosed and kept some of it, but, got rid of the rest of it that was, had been old listings. So there's nothing to say you just can't start over fresh. You can pick and choose some stuff out that's worth keeping, but that sometimes sounds very appealing to just go from 4,000 items to a couple hundred items. But your listings are gonna the amount you're gonna sell is gonna take a hit. But if it's bad stuff, it's bad stuff. You need to get rid of it. So it is what it is. But that's all I got today. I'm going to keep it kind of short today. If you have any comments, comment down below. Like to read people's comments. If you have any questions on how I do things or why I do something the way I do, I'd love to answer it. But remember, Jesus loves you, and Jesus just wants to have a relationship with you. And always give yourself a high five. See you next time.